The Justin Robert Young program brought to you as always by everybody who supports us at payjurydaily.com. Again, payjurydaily.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Justin Robert Young program. My name is Justin Robert Young. I have for you today an epic decision, a decision that has brewed all weekend long, a decision on whether or not I'm going to apologize to my friend. If you missed Thursday's episode, I revealed a story in which I have long thought that it was a hilariously funny joke. If when I sneezed into my hand, I would look at the disgusted face of my friend Anthony, I would then take the hand and I would wipe it on his face. I have solicited emails from the JuRY listenership, the JuRY viewership. I've received all of what you had to say, but to have this conversation, we need to bring in a special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, live and direct from South Florida, it is my friend, Anthony Caruso. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, it's a lovely rainy evening here in South Florida.
All right. Now, before we get into the emails that I received, and I'm going to read them for you so you can have your commentary on them. Let's go ahead and actually, no, you want to know what? I'm going to read the emails first, and then I'll ask you questions. So here we go. These were the emails. Michael writes, "Yes, you should apologize to Anthony. Cover your sneezes inside the crook of your arm. If you have a cold, wash your hands often. I will not touch public door handles anymore without gloves. Apparently this is working, as I have not been sick in over 5 years." Well, weird flex, but okay, Michael. I will say this. Never in the time that I wiped my snot-filled hand on your face did I believe I was sick. I never thought
this is what all liars say. It's always allergies or I'm not contagious anymore, and everyone's all of a sudden a licensed friggin' doctor that they know they're no longer contagious or that it's just allergy.
No,
bullshit.
I have never bought the I'm not contagious anymore thing. I have never said I'm not contagious. But I do have allergies. Whenever I go to South Florida, I still have allergies. I have less allergies now that I live on the West Coast. That is a thing.
And we also need to really note how disgusting and snotty these sneezes you produce are, with that big full beard and spittle going everywhere. It's like something out of a horrid Wild Western.
All right, Gabriel writes, "Are you still friends with Anthony? Have you done anything friendly with Anthony since the incident?" Well, I would say, yes, indeed, we are still friends, and he's on the phone right now. He goes on, "If you answered yes to both, then you can say that it wasn't done maliciously, and Anthony doesn't have a compromised immune system, and I don't need to apologize. Screw whatever the chat said, because if Brian Brushwood was a certified germaphobe and you did the exact same thing on Night Attack, these same people would drop dead from laughing, especially if Brian sprayed his face with Lysol afterwards. That would be comedy gold. If Anthony had a severe avocado allergy and you mashed his face with guacamole pie, that would have been a different story. But other than that, you helped him get over his fear, and that's a win for him, for you, and for humanity. Because Anthony isn't creating the next bacterial-resistant pathogen due to his indiscriminate use of Purell. Gabriel is posing, Anthony, that you owe me an apology for ever having a problem with this.
Apparently, I need to be immunocompromised for you to act like a civilized human being.
And finally, this is the end of our representative sample of the emails that came in. We got a ton of emails on this, but I'm only reading 3 so we can get a good sample. DH wrote, "As a germaphobe, I was appalled by your snot smearing actions. Also saying that, but this atrocity was funny makes you sound like an even worse human being. I'd say that you owe Anthony at least $100 per instance of this happening plus interest. I'm not one to get in fights, but my instant reaction was I would have punched you in the face. Here's how that would break down by likelihood of face punching a friend who did this per instance. First time, 60% and a definite warning of a face punching. Second time, 90% chance. Third time, 10,000% chance, and there might not be a stopping point. If you couldn't tell, I believe you owe him an apology in this instance. Now,
I fully intend to parlay this into a steak dinner. This apology without any remorse or a gesture of goodwill. The apology is relatively worthless. Also, I don't know how I never murdered you, because I remember I would flash, and I run a little hot.
Yes.
And it was always done at a time when it was either completely inappropriate, usually in public, like restaurants, things like that. I don't know how I never snapped.
I think that
I guess it was good comedic timing.
I remember you charging me once or twice, but it is probably more damning for me that I can't remember every time I've done this. It has to be in double digits.
It went on for a long time.
All right. So let me ask you a few questions, and then we will get to whether or not I apologize. Number one, just so people know, and I'm not misstating this, on the scale from 1 to 10, how much of a germaphobe would you describe yourself as?
I mean, compared to actual germaphobes, I don't think I'm a complete germaphobe.
No.
I find it very repulsive to have snot touch my face.
Yes. So, I mean, I would say you are not somebody who is washing their hands 50 times a day or ducking their head in Purell.
I follow the George Carlin line of thought. You got to have a good immune system, and you need to be exposed to things. I just don't want it rubbed in my face.
But you are certainly a particular. You do not like being put into uncomfortable positions in general. Right, I
try not to get sick. I get 5 sick days a year, and I choose to use them to stay home and watch movies, not be sick.
When do you? What was your first thought when I pulled this shenanigan? Can you remember the first? Just what was going through your head the first time this happened?
I mean, I'm Superfly TNT when snot touches my face.
So you were furious.
I feel like
furious
Rachel
and anger.
was always around. I feel like there was always a buffer. It was never done like just you and I. It was always in the midst of a social situation where murder was probably less than an optimal solution.
I would say, yeah. Although that even heightens the humor in it for me. Which brings us to my third and final question. But for real, it was kind of funny. Like even, I mean, sure. Funny.
When I'm in this moment when I don't have the snot caressing my face, I can look back on it and laugh. But in the moment, it's quite disgusting.
All right. After much deliberation, I've had a couple days now to think about it. I've had all of your deliberations, everybody who's written in to jurydaily@gmail.com. I got Anthony on the phone because I'm here to say I apologize to you for wiping snot on your face many, 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 many times. But I will not be buying you a steak dinner. I might get you an appetizer if you really want to milk it. Might be able to get you an appetizer, but I'm not buying you a fucking steak dinner.
Make it a martini. You got to starve the cold, drown the flu.
There we go. All right, hold on. We have another germ story. If you want to stay on the line, I'll play this here for you. There was another germ story that kind of hit the internet today. This is a clip that went viral from Fox and Friends, the morning show on the Fox News Network. This is host Peter Hegseth talking about germs.
As I told you, my 2019 resolution is to say things on air that I say off air. I don't think I've washed my hands for 10 years. Really, I don't really wash my hands ever.
Help me!
No, I inoculate myself. It's just not, germs are not a real thing. I can't see them, therefore they're not real.
So you're becoming immune to all of the
exactly.
bacteria.
I can't get sick.
My dad.
All right, Anthony, did you hear that? I just realized now that you might not have been able to hear that.
No, I heard it.
Okay, you heard it. Good. This is him saying that he's not washed his hands in 10 years. and that he does not believe that germs are real. Now, let's suspend our
Shocking
disbelief.
from the science-believing people at Fox News.
I mean, yeah, let's suspend our disbelief that might have been a joke, right? And let's also understand universally that television anchors are literally selected for their jobs not because they're smart, but because they can read and they have heads that are shaped well enough to bounce studio lighting off of. That being said, these people do exist, right? Like if I find germs cavalier, I'm certainly washing my hands when I go to the bathroom. I'm washing my hands when I prepare food with raw meat in it. But these, do you believe that this human being, whether or not this guy's joking or not, that this human being exists, that these people are out here with a decade's worth of filth built up on their mitts?
I have no doubt. The big cat is a notorious I don't wash my hands after I urinate guy. Says his
really?
penis is the cleanest part of him.
All right. Well, to hip everybody to the lingo here, the big cat is a friend of ours. I have known that son of a bitch since high school, and I never knew that he was. Hey, I don't wash my hands after going to the bathroom. Really?
Really?
Oh my!
I mean,
God.
maybe number 2, but definitely not on number 1.
Well, I should certainly hope number 2. I mean, also you have to at least get, at the very least, after a number 1, you got to get a good rinse, right? Like you
would think.
And in piping hot water, a rinse at bare minimum. If you want to look, we've all been in a situation where maybe you've had.
Cats are afraid of water.
That is a fact. He is indeed. He has that problem going for him. But yeah, man, I had no. This is redefining. This is like whenever periodically you get the like, do people sit or stand to wipe, like that conversation. That rips the fabric of society.
That was the Scott Johnson show.
Yeah, no, that rips the fabric of society apart. There are people, and even because this broke out into our group chat, right? And there
where do you fall in this? I'm a sit. I'm a sit to wipe.
I'm a sit. How does that even work? Standing up. How does it work standing up? I mean, like, I assumed it was universal sitting down. That's just how the mechanics worked.
You would think.
And yet. Oh, man. All right. Well, here's what I want everybody to do. Go ahead and email me, jurydaily@gmail.com. And I'm going to ask everybody this. And this is a survey here. Are you a germaphobe? Yes or no? It'll take you 2 seconds. Open up your email, jurydaily@gmail.com. Are you a germaphobe? That's what I want to know. I just want to know how many people consider themselves to be a germaphobe. Because I even think, Anthony, like you wouldn't consider yourself a germaphobe, right?
I mean, everybody else around me tells me I am, but I just don't want to get sick.
I think
if you're sick and sneezing, just stay away from it.
I don't think that you're necessarily a germaphobe. You're very weird. You've always been very weird about, like, do you still take, what you used to take all the time in high school? Was it Excedrin?
Excedrin is my headache medicine of choice, yes.
No, but you used to take it like every day. It was like a vitamin or something, but because it had caffeine in it. I don't know.
Correct.
Yeah. Was that? I mean,
Excedrin does have caffeine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I definitely use Excedrin for a little pick me up now and again.
Which is, I mean, I guess I never even thought about it like that because, like, back in the day, when you're teenagers, I mean, we're just drinking, Coca-Cola and drinking. I don't know.
This was before energy drinks were really big, though. I feel like now I would just have an energy drink, but those weren't really like the rage quite yet when we were in high school.
Yeah, you're right. It was pre-Red Bull. Like we definitely went to high school in a pre-Red Bull world. And I guess if you had the promise in a world without Red Bull, if you had the promise of a pill version of a Red Bull that your mom would just keep buying for you, that would definitely be the way to go, right?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and write into me, jurydaily@gmail.com, jurydaily@gmail.com, JuRYDAILY@gmail.com. We got a couple emails in here, and Anthony, if you want to hang on and help me with them, then we can go ahead and do it. Islander
Sure.
Steve writes, so what's the etiquette of weather shit talk? When I lived in the Bay, it was totally fine to compare weather with my friends across the country. I'd be in temperatures as high as the high 60s to low 70s in the winter, and they'd be like, must be nice. And I would do pretty much what you do now and gently rub it in their faces that California weather is dope as fuck. But now that I'm in Hawaii, well, I feel a little bit more self-conscious about the weather, and I don't take the same joy in weather shit talk because it's not even remotely close to what they're experiencing. It feels like Steph Curry dropping half-court three-pointers on special needs kids. So if you lived out here, would you continue with the same level of shit talk or even take it to another level? Or like me, would you feel the same guilt that it's not even a fair comparison and chill on the weather shit talk? Also, if it helps, I'm yellow. Okay. Thank you, Islander Steve. Anthony, will go to you first. What is your
I mean, the
capacitor?
The whole point of that gag is the dichotomy of good weather versus bad. If you're in beautiful Hawaii, that's even more fodder, right?
Yeah, but I think his point
there's
is
nothing I like better than, I don't even like going to the beach, but I'll send a picture of myself at the beach to someone buried in snow.
yes, which is a time-honored tradition in South Florida, and really anywhere with good weather, is dunking on people that are in worse weather, made even better by the internet, by the way. But I guess his point is, what if there was never a bad day? Like, there was no element where it's like, South Florida, look, if you're going to the beach, it's gorgeous during the summer because it's hot as hell. You can get in the water. It's delicious. It's awesome. You have a few drinks. It's a fun time. But by and large, just your work a day, 9 to 5 bullshit, it's a lot of you sweating through clothing before you get into your car, right? Like, there is definitely a trade-off. Whereas Hawaii famously is like, no, it's either gorgeous or raining year-round, doesn't really matter. If it ain't raining, it's amazing. Do you ever think that it would get old for you?
No, certainly not if I had a friend in the Midwest.
I guess that is the thing. Do you talk shit to people that you don't know about the weather, or do you have to know them and know that it will be funny?
It has to be at least like a top tier acquaintance.
Yeah, I would
Doesn't
agree.
have to be a friend, but a very friendly acquaintance.
Somebody
Cousin.
Somebody that at the very least, because if you just are dunking on strangers, then you are just a fucking asshole, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
You're a troll.
Exactly. All right. So I would say to you, Islander Steve, number one, let's all bring it back to square one. The reason why you talk shit about weather is because you enjoy other people's pain. If you are not deriving joy from other people's pain, then you have full understanding of this podcast to stop talking shit about the weather. The more you know. Joe writes, recently on Twitter, Gail Simone was asking fast food franchises which comic book universe they preferred. Because Twitter, Wendy's chose Marvel, and this resulted in a bit of gatekeeping suspicion in the @replies. Not because of a corporation having a comic book preference is an oddity, but because the avatar and digital incarnation of the Wendy's fast food franchise only likes the comics because the movies were popular, so this got me thinking. Obviously, the terms fake geek and fake geek girl in particular are a bit loaded these days with problematic associations. RIP, unfriend me. But how does it apply if the account is effectively a corporate character blog trying to start parasocial relationships with their audience? Is it being a fake geek as a constructed persona that rubs netizens the wrong way? Or is that all other things being equal, still representing yourself as a girl? Anthony, do you feel that there is a cultural problem with the idea of the fictitious character of Wendy being a fake geek girl?
I don't get this. I think Wendy's should probably stick to dunking on Burger King and McDonald's.
No, but
keep it in your wheelhouse.
No, but they do this all the time. All the time. That Wendy's account is literally just interacting with everybody, and the more niche, the better. They're huge on wrestling Twitter because they make these like super inside professional wrestling references in timely fashion, and everybody goes crazy, which of course is what that social media person is there for, is there to increase the eyeballs on the Wendy's account.
I mean, has anyone ever chosen their fast food establishment based on their preference in pop culture icons? I don't think so.
I mean,
you're going to, it's proximity and time and how close it is to your work. I don't think any of this is all nonsense.
Oh, I totally disagree. If you look at any, like, advertising is not about making you make a conscious decision in your mind, right? If it does that, that's amazing. If you are, talking shit about Wendy liking Spider-Man over Batman, and then you decide you want a spicy chicken sandwich, that's aces. That's a side effect. Really what they want is for just you to remember that Wendy's exists, so then you can think, oh, shit, yeah, there is that Wendy's on the way back from work. Maybe I'll stop there one day. That's literally all they want, is just share in your mind to remind you that they exist. So in that case, I think, yeah, every single time that Wendy's dunks on Burger King or makes a reference to Matt Hardy or says that Batman sucks compared to the Hulk, like, they are increasing the time that you are thinking, as long as they don't make you boycott them, that you're not saying, fuck Wendy's. How dare they talk shit about Superman? All they care is that you remember them. I'll bet you have gone to a Wendy's after randomly being reminded that a Wendy's exists.
Perhaps. I mean, now I want to know, is there some guy running analytics out there that's like, well, clearly we have to go with Marvel, and Batman doesn't have enough followers. Batman followers don't eat fast food, so fuck him.
I mean,
I want that job.
I am curious about whether or not there is calculation to the hot takes being offered by the fictitious corporate character.
I mean, there must be, right?
I don't know. I feel like that account, for however much I have paid attention to it, or anytime that it comes onto my social radar, it's usually just them playing to the meme of the moment or randomly taking a bold stance on a question where you would not. I mean, really, I guess that is the fun part of that account, is that they are saying something boldly in a world where you wouldn't imagine that any corporate entity would want to offend anybody. But it's like interesting and novel that they're like, fuck Batman. And you're like, oh, how dangerous. I think I'll get a Frosty.
All
right. Well, look.
Still think it's silly.
It is. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're talking about the fucking corporate avatar for a fast food franchise making a decision on comic books. There's literally no element of this that isn't.
That spicy chicken sandwich is still the best chicken sandwich of any fast food. Unsolicited plug for Wendy's. I haven't had one in years, but it's still good.
I feel like I think we just did this in having everybody send in their favorite fast food restaurant that they unapologetically stand for no matter what. But what is even in that conversation? The spicy chicken sandwich, a properly made spicy chicken sandwich that just comes out of the fryer at the right moment, I don't think there's anything better. There's no better fast food sandwich.
No.
I think that's it.
I don't think so.
That's a wrap. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to plug your Twitter? Do you want to be social media famous?
I'm Twanthony. TWANTHONY.
Yes.
Stop on by.
Twanthony on Twitter. Thank you so much. I apologize. Hopefully this makes our friendship stronger. That now that I've finally apologized to you for wiping snot on your face years and years ago.
And I'll spend the next 6 months until you come down for a visit finding the most expensive martini I can find.
All right.
The martini that's priced like a steak. All right, you guys have fun, enjoy the show, and I'll talk to you another time.
All right, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Caruso. Probably shouldn't be saying his name. Our producers, The Jen, PD Rave, Non-Specific Rock and Roll Martian, Joe Acosta, Will, James, the OG Brito, Will! Matthew B. Oh, shit, I fucked up. Will! James, the OG Brito, Will! And Matthew B. Of course, you can email me, jurydaily@gmail.com, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, @Justin R. Young, and join our Discord, bit.ly/jurydiscord. Folks, that'll wrap us up here for today. Thank you so much to my guest, Anthony. Till next time, is your old pal, Justin Robert Young, saying, please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. But more importantly, please don't die!
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.